A New York lawmaker is pushing back on a plan he says could hurt upstate farms and breweries. Good evening, everyone. I'm Daryl Kirkland Morgan.
And I'm Jennifer Sheehan. Thank you for joining us on WENY News at 5:30. The Food and Drug Administration has proposed a new rule that some say could impact two big industries in the southern tier and Finger Lakes region.
That's right. Senator Chuck Schumer was in town today to show his support for farmers and brewers. WENY's Asha McKenzie spoke with local workers today, and she joins us live with the latest.
Daryl and Jen, breweries throughout New York State have a close relationship with neighboring farms. Farmers often use the wet grain from the brewing process, commonly known as spent grain, to feed their animals. Now the FDA is trying to regulate how the grain is used in its Food Modernization Act. I spoke with Senator Schumer and local workers about how this could possibly hurt their livelihoods. In just under 30 days, the Food and Drug Administration may pass a rule that will directly affect breweries and farms in New York State. The FDA wants to regulate spent grain, which will cost both industries more money. This new rule will force breweries to either send out their grain to be dried and packaged or to be disposed of. Senator Chuck Schumer spoke against this proposed rule at Upstate Brewing in Horseheads today.
So that's the kind of cooperation that drives the local economy. It's the kind of cooperation that's been around in America long before there even was an FDA.
Brewers say they don't have to burden themselves with the expense of disposing the wet grain when local farmers collect it for animal feed. Both industries say this is a win-win transaction, and this proposed rule will only complicate things.
Well, I'll be calling the head of the FDA, who is actually a New Yorker, and bringing to her attention how absurd this is.
Farmers and brewers say that this proposed rule by the FDA doesn't make any sense, and workers here at Upstate Brewery said it would cost them more money to dispose of the grain, and it would diminish the relationship between them and the farmers. 90% of brewers across the nation donate their spent grain to farmers for feed.
It's a two-person transaction. It's the brewery and the farmer. The farmer wants it the way it is. We want it the way it is. So why mess with it?
Tom Giles of Maple Valley Farm says he's been receiving donated grain from Upstate Brewing since they opened in July of 2012. He says if this bill were to pass, he would spend roughly $100 a week on grain to feed his animals.
It's a good relationship. We promote his product, he promotes our product, and that's what it's all about.
Senator Schumer says he hopes he can bring the FDA to their senses before this rule goes into effect. In the studio, Asha McKenzie, WENY News.